Today I wanted to go ahead and do a two-part video. First part is going to be my eyeshadow and how I blend it. Of course, I want to do something with color because I dropped a eyeshadow palette with my brand, and ever since I've gotten my palettes, I have just been wanting to wear color ever since. So today I'm feeling more like a blue. So we're going to be using quite a few of these blue colors to make a monochromatic blue look. With this, I'll be showing you guys how to blend it in perfectly. And I also feel like it's easy to show people how to blend whenever you're using a monochromatic look as well. But the first thing I like to start with whenever I'm doing anything colorful, I always start with my eyes. And of course, before my eyes, I have to get the brows right. My eyebrows are done. They look a little weird right now, but as I finish my whole face, it'll all tie together and blend in a little more. Right now, they're a little boxy. All right, so now I went ahead and I added the really light concealer to my hand. And that is what I'm gonna blend into my eyelid so that when I go in with my blue, it shows up really nicely. I'm just going to use a dome brush to kind of push it in because I have no clue where my concealer brush went. She went missing probably about, I don't even know. I just haven't seen it in a while. But make sure your dome brush is kind of fluffy. And then we're just going to take it, start with the bottom, and then blend your way up. The key is to use just enough concealer. You don't want to use so much concealer that whenever you do go to blend your eyeshadow, it doesn't work. So we're gonna stop here because that's the shape that I want the eyeshadow to be. And then I'm gonna take a beauty blender to further blend it out into the darker concealer at the top. So now on this side, I honestly should have grabbed a clip for my hair. I don't know why I thought that, well, you know what? It'll work. So this is how your concealer should look for the base of your eyeshadow. Now I did say I was gonna use a beauty blender. Actually, I don't wanna use a beauty blender. I'm just gonna take the residue from the rest of the lighter concealer. I'm gonna turn the brush and then I'm gonna blend it out that way. So I'm gonna take my finger again and then I'm just gonna marry the colors up here. Okay. So I'm gonna start with a smaller brush because I'm gonna pack these into my corners. So the colors I'm gonna go with, I think I'm gonna do these two colors. I do want the blue to be a little bit lighter, so I will be mixing this blue in with the white, but I'm gonna start with this shade of blue and kind of mix it with this one to lighten it up just a little bit. And if you grab too much, just tap it off. And like I said, I can't see that well even with my contacts due to all the lighting. So I'm so sorry if my mirror gets in your way, but I'm gonna go ahead and start tapping in my color. The pigment on this palette is literally crazy. So I'm just gonna tap these in. I just love the pigment, oh my gosh. So of course, what you do to one eye, obviously you do it to the other one. So I'm gonna go ahead and pack in my color here. And then once I have them where I want them, this is gonna be more of like a halo look. Once I have the two dots where I want them to be, I'm gonna go ahead and connect them by doing, of course, a little bridge over the top. So we're just gonna take this and just go across the eye with it. But do it high enough to where you can still see the color in your crease because that's gonna be really important when you add in that other color. So go ahead and do the same thing to the other eye. All right, so this is what I'm looking like right now. It's already starting to kind of look more like a halo. So now I'm just gonna take a brush that's slightly bigger, but a little fluffier. Honestly, I think this is the same brush. we're gonna use it. So now I'm gonna go in with, I don't know, I might do the shimmer color. Let's see what it looks like with just the blue. And then I'll try the shimmer later. So of course I said I wanted it to be a little lighter. So I'm just mixing it so that it's a lighter powdery blue. Once I have it to where I want it to be, which I think that's good right there, I'm gonna go ahead and add it where I have the concealer. Actually, that's exactly the color I needed. Okay, so we're just gonna blend it in here in the middle. And if you want it to be lighter, you can always just add more white onto it. But I like this color, so we're just gonna keep it here. We're just gonna tap in these colors. All right, and of course we're gonna do the exact same thing to the other side. Hopefully the color matches perfect. Is it? Okay, yeah, it looks the exact same. So we're just gonna go with it. I think I made that a little too dark. So we're just gonna go with it here. Okay, it's already looking good. So like I said, hold on to your other brush because you are gonna go back in with that darker color and blend everything back together. Because as you can see on this side, some of that lighter color is now on top of the darker one and we don't want that. So I'm just gonna tap it on and bring that dark blue back. So I do have it where I want it to be now. And now what we're gonna do is we're gonna take that light blue and we're gonna blend out the darker blue. This one I'm not gonna mix with the white. I'm just gonna blend it out. So we're just gonna take that blue and blend her out. And you see a slight difference in color, not a huge difference, but you see it enough to where you know, you have an idea of how this look is supposed to be. So now that I have that done, now we're going to buff the color out. So now this is when you take a fluffier brush. Nothing too fluffy, just fluffy enough to get your point across. Okay, so something like this. So now I'm just gonna take that lighter blue, add just a little bit, and then I'm going to buff this color out, but not too high or too low. I just want to get rid of this really, really harsh end here. I'm trying to make sure I do not have this mirror in the way. I want you guys to be able to see what I'm doing. So now I'm just gonna take the leftover of this darker blue and I'm gonna kind of bleed that out too, so that everything is blended. And then I'm gonna darken it just a little more too, because I want it to show just a little more. Perfect. Okay, so now we're gonna finish up the rest of the eye. So now I have to do the bottom. Now in order to do this without making any huge mistakes, I'm gonna take this white concealer again, and I'm just gonna go right under my eye with it. You don't wanna go too far down because you're gonna put your concealer under your eye once you start with your face, and you do not want this white to be too bright under there, because then you're gonna have a really ugly flashback. So we're just gonna tap that in. All right. It looks crazy, but now we're able to add in our blue. So whenever we do this part now, You just have to get a really tiny brush. Well, actually, I'm going to use this one to fluff out the color. I'm going to use a very tight brush. Ignore this brush. I've had her for, I can't even tell you how long I've had this brush. It's been too long, and you can tell. It's literally hanging on by a thread now. So what we're going to do is we're going to take this darker blue that I used, and then we're going to put that directly under the eye. Not in your waterline, just directly under the eye. So just like that. And if you need to pack on more color to make it more defined, do not be afraid to. So that's on there, and then we have to do the other side, of course. So I'm going to take this lighter blue, and we're just going to go under the eye. Just like that. That's actually a perfect blend. Now we can go ahead and start adding some definition. Now to add definition, what you're going to need is, of course, your eyeliner that you want to put in your waterline. I could easily go with blue, but instead I'm going to go with black, because once I put my lashes on, the black is going to tie in really well and kind of make the look a little more, I don't want to say sultry, but it'll kind of give that nice balance of sultry and fun. So now I'm just going to use my Glam Artist Cosmetics lip liner in the shade On Scene, but I'm going to use it as my eyeliner. And then now I can go ahead with my mascara, and then I'm going to go in with lashes, and then I will tie all of this in together and finish my face on part 2. So mascara that I'm going to use is the Benefit Fan Fest. This mascara is literally my favorite. Like, look at how thick it is. Hold on. Like, already a difference. And what I like about this mascara is you can layer it. So if it's not thick enough for me the first pass, I can always let it dry and then go back over it. So I'm going to go ahead and take my Duo Lash Glue, and I'm going to go ahead and coat the lash band with it and let it sit and dry for a little. Go ahead and coat this. Okay, so I've given them a good 2 minutes to dry. Now I'm going to go ahead and apply them. Where's my little mirror? So with my little mirror, I'm just going to plop them on real quick. So the first one is going on here. Right, and make sure those are nice and secure. This is already starting to look, okay, this look is already starting to look really good. The lashes really just topped it off. Okay, now bear with me with this one, because this is the one that gives me the most issues. For some reason, I cannot get my left eye on without fighting. So I'm actually just going to leave it in the video so you guys can just watch me struggle, and it'll make you feel better about the fact that you also have a hard time with your lashes. And I've been doing makeup for years, and I don't know, this left eye just gives me the most problems. But let's see if I can get it on. Okay, get the hair out the way. And then we're going to try and just plop this on here. I don't want to get glue on my eye. Hold on. Oh my god, see? I struggle with this eye so freaking bad. Okay, that's quicker than usual. Usually I'm fighting with this eye for about 10 minutes. Okay, I don't want to spend forever on the eye, but I think I have her on there nice and secure now. Yeah, I think we're safe now. If you want to see how I prep my skin and apply my makeup to my face and do all my layering and everything like that, then move over to part 2.